Last week, Andy told us what Element was working on to get crypto out of the way. This week, the whole team is back to show us that this is not theoretical work. You're listening to Matrix Live, and we're about to watch the latest Element demos.
A typical piece of work from the crypto team involves commits to about 9 different code bases, covering Element X, Element Web, the Rust SDK, and all the bits that join those things together. We also try to be extremely careful about the way we deliver changes because any mistakes we make can have very serious consequences. And often if our work goes well, people won't really notice much. Something that used to trip people up just becomes a bit easier. So given that you might not always notice what we're working on, we thought we'd tell you a little bit about what we've been doing recently. And I want to start off by handing over to Andreas to talk about the vision that we are currently pursuing. Over to you, Andreas.
Yeah, here we go. So basically, the goal is to make the end encryption usable and also safe for like ordinary users. So far, it has been causing friction. There are I think a few different bigger initiatives around that. One of which is disruptive, and which is basically will exclude the use of insecure devices, and that's also the reason for the friction for starting to use Element X that you heard before, because Element X is already using that approach and is using to kind of enforcing the users to verify their devices. But the eventual goal is that eventually it will make people's lives easier because it simplifies the overall model. So the users don't have to be concerned that should I trust this message or not, and so on. The second initiative is around trusting the user's identity, or who do you speak to. So far people had to manually verify the contacts if they wanted to know about these identity changes. Now that's automatic in the sense that the contact's identity gets pinned, and when it changes, you get a notification about it. And the last one is kind of like around making the terminology more consistent and using the concepts that people basically know already. To simplify setting up things and understanding what's going on.
Great, thank you very much, Andreas. Yeah, so just trying to make crypto disappear because it works so well, but also it's actually safer if it disappears because you can't get it wrong and mess up your security if it just works out of the box. So I've mentioned that we working across loads of different teams. So I'm actually going to switch to Dave, who's not a member of the crypto team, but has been working on crypto stuff recently because we touched so many different bits. So Dave, over to you for one of the first bits of what we've actually managed to make work recently.
Hello. Right, so hopefully you can see a screen share, and this. I was worried that this was not going to be the most exciting demo, but Andy assures me that it is. So here we go. This is a sign-in screen. So if I click sign in here, hopefully Matrix won't take too long to sign in. Here we go. Have you noticed the change yet? Have you spotted it?
There's no close button.
There's no close button. There is no option to skip verification here. So that's the first change. It literally forces you to verify, and that's it. Second change is that if I refresh this page, again, I hope this won't take too long, it still prompts me to verify. So I can't even refresh if I, log in and then wait for it to sync and come back to another tab and the tab's closed or refreshed or something, or I've just got bored and closed my laptop. You don't end up with an unverified account in a weird state. It will make sure that you verify your device. Also, don't worry, this won't apply to everybody. It will only apply to new logins. So we don't want to force people that are already logged in to verify. You can carry on using an unverified session, but when you log out and log in again, you will then be asked to verify. So that is basically that.
Brilliant, thank you very much. I found that extremely exciting.
I did too.
Anyone who knows anything about the login code in Element Web will know that the second part of that was a pretty amazing challenge to pull off. So fantastic work. Yeah, so this brings Element Web into line with Element X of encouraging and forcing new logins to be verified, where verified just means that the people you're talking to can trust that that device actually belongs to you and isn't like a fake device that someone has inserted somewhere else. So as more and more people end up on verified devices, we close one of the holes in our crypto. And we make everything simpler because you don't have to talk about unverified devices or what we're now calling insecure devices because there aren't any. And we just, if any appear, we ignore them. That's the idea in the future. All right, so let's move on to Rich with another little bit we've been working on.
Yep, so another problem we used to have is it's all very well having these verified devices that Onion they've been talking about, but the trouble was that we wouldn't check if a device was verified until you received the message, which meant that if somebody sent you a message while you were offline, and then they deleted their device, we wouldn't be able to check if it came from them or not, because by the time we checked, the device no longer existed. So it sounds like a trivial thing, but it was kind of important, and it was kind of a pain in the ass to get to work, but we've done it. So I will demonstrate it with this handy screen share over here. So here I have an existing session, but I'm going to go offline with it by closing the tab. Meanwhile, I'm going to put on my different hat, which is by opening a private browsing window, which has disappeared somewhere. That one. Okay, good. And we'll log in a new session on that. And we'll sign in as VDH test. There we go. So I'm creating a new session. There we go. I haven't yet got Dave's little patch, so I can skip this bit. I'll verify later. Yeah, verify later. I'm going to send a message to my other account over here. Let's start a message with this guy. You out of the way. Hello. There we go. Message sent. I'm going to log out again. No, I don't want my encrypted messages. Okay. I'm also going to actually do it again from a verified device. Okay, I'm going to verify this one. There we go. Green shield. Yeah, don't need you. Can't decrypt it because I didn't have a device that was active, but that's okay. It's the other guy that I want to be able to read it. Hello from a verified device. Gone. Sign out. Device is no more. There is no more record of that device anywhere. But if I go back to my first user, okay, there's my invite. There we go. And look what we've got. We've got the message from the unverified device. And you knew it wasn't verified. And I've got a message from a verified device. Previously, these were both shown as gray shield saying we couldn't verify it. We probably should have been showing it in red.
It was a red shade, I think, like sent.
Was it red?
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever. The point is that now it shows the right thing. Great success. End of demo.
Yay! This is a classic example of the crypto team doing something that was a lot of work that results in a very tiny change on your screen, but something that actually represents a significant impact on your life, even if you don't realize it, right? So those devices, there's no record of those devices because they've been logged out, but we still have a record of the trust state of those devices when those messages were sent, which is really critical, even though we were offline at the time they were sent.
Because the impact on the end users being that if you're some random government customer, and previously you had these weird grey shields everywhere saying, authenticity couldn't be guaranteed, something's happening, crypto gobbledygook. Now it will actually tell you what's going on, which will ideally be nothing.
Yeah, and in a remarkable situation, given that we live in a capitalist world, we're doing that by not removing the shields, even though they should be there, but by actually making our stuff secure and giving the correct messages to people. All right, so over to Valère for more of this kind of thing.
Yeah, so let me start to share my screen. Hopefully it's working. Okay, so I have to be fast, so I've prepared my setup here. So on the left, I have a user called Andy, and on the right, I have a user called Valère. And I will start to message Andy from here. So here I have a verified session. Sorry, I need to talk to Andy. I hope you can read. Okay. So here there is nothing related to secure device. Yes, so let me accept element X. So this is what happened when I send a message from a verified device. Here, I have a second device, but this one is not verified. And let's say hi. So this is what you have now. You can see that this message is sent from an unverified device. By the way, element X is now showing these kind of shields. So I sort of know that there is a device that is not good in this room. But let's imagine, or let's take the other way around. I have no message, and I say, hello, no, have you heard the news? Something like that. So what happened here is that on my side, I see nothing wrong. And the other two devices get the message. So the secure one and the insecure one. So if this device was like an attacker, it would read all the message. And if he stays silent in the room, I will never see this shield. So now let's see what happens if I enable this new exclude insecure device. So I have to restart the app just to show it. So now let's say, hey, this is a very confidential thing, and I send it. So have you seen the difference here? It's like this device that is verified can read the message, but this one cannot. So I'm completely safe on my side. I can talk, my message won't leak to an unverified device. So that's one of the things that this notion of excluding device is doing. It's adding more security to you. So now let's have another scenario. So let me start and talk to that user now. So this is a web with also this option to exclude unsigned device enabled. So why? No, I don't want this one. I want reach. So I'm sending the message from here. So here, this is the secure device. It can read my message. And now let's say that I am from this insecure device sending another message. Hello. Again, I am your CEO. Please do the transfer. Okay, so now I have enabled include insecure device. So you can see that I will not even see this message on my device. So for now, we are still showing it, but the plan with Invisible Crypto is to like completely drop the message. Like it is an insecure message. There is no reason to show it.
Thanks for that. Yeah. So again, there's subtle changes, but it means when we're living in a world where all devices are verified, then we just won't see messages from these insecure devices, and we won't be exposed to the risk that they pose. But we also won't be exposed to the complexity of having to know what it means when it says this was sent from an unverified device. Right? You just won't see it. It's going to be a lot better. All right. Thanks a lot, Valère. Are you done?
I think I need now to talk about the stopgap situation. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm talking to Rich, and let's imagine that let me sign up this. I verified Rich, and let's imagine now that Rich, there is a new device added to Rich account. Sorry, I couldn't prepare this one in advance. Okay, so I don't verify. So if I were on web currently, there would be a warning telling me that this user that I have verified have unsigned devices. There is not yet such a mechanism in Element. So this is like purely, if invisible crypto was live, it would not be a problem because I'm not sending at all to unsigned device. But now we are still sending to unsigned device, so we need to show an error. So it's telling me that. Okay, so your message was not sent because Rich has not verified. So as I was saying, if the exclude insecure device option is there, like invisible crypto is there, you don't need to care about that. Unsigned device don't exist. There is no security risk. But in the transition mode where we are, they do exist. So we need to warn you. So of course I can say send anyhow. It would send it, and it's only telling me that once. I don't have to do it for every message.
Okay, thanks a lot, Valère. So that, yeah, just to be absolutely clear about that, this concerns when two users have verified each other. So these are users who care about the security of the identity of the person they're talking to sufficiently to go through that manual verification process. When that happens, eventually their unverified devices will just be ignored, like we want for all unverified devices. Or sorry, I should say insecure devices. That's what we're calling them. But in this stopgap mode, with people who have verified each other, so they really care, they get this warning message about any insecure devices because they've made it clear that they care.
Can I ask how long this is? Like, is there a timing on it? If you say send to this unverified device anyway, because like we did it with Matthew the other day, and we say okay, he had spun out a test thing. So okay, we don't want to let it stop communicate, but at some point I want it to be back. Is there a timeline?
No. So far you've like whitelisted this unsigned device.
Right. Okay. So it's just this device which is whitelisted, and then if a new one pops up, then it will block.
There would be a new warning. If there is a new device that is unsigned, there would be a new warning.
Okay.
And another detail with this is that when you add that device to an allow list, it's only the current device that's adding it. So you might get asked on another device.
Yep. It's local. Yeah.
Okay.
You are locally saying I am fine with this device.
Great, thank you, Valère. We've got one left, which is to talk a bit about the future. Aaron, if you're on the line, we're going to see some of the designs for how this stuff's going to look when it's closer to being ready.
So in the future, when everything works like it should, we will be able to preemptively tell you when somebody that you've previously verified has changed their identity. And so on Element X, you would see this little pill below the message they said, letting you know that their identity has changed, and you get this banner above the composer. The composer is disabled, so we're basically telling you that this is happening, and you have to make an action before we'll allow you to message to make sure to prevent you from doing anything insecure. So you can either go to their profile and somehow coordinate with them, probably off band or something, to re-verify, or you can withdraw your verification and they would basically be returned like a normal user, in which case we would only be showing you something like this, where their identity appears to have changed, but you haven't verified them. So we're just basically letting you know, okay, you're informed. Yeah, so, and also if you go into like the room details, we have some decoration and badges for letting you know that this person's identity has changed. But that will be the big difference going forward, is you won't have to try sending a message first to see that this has happened.
This happening should be much rarer than it is on something like WhatsApp, because your identity persists even if you get new devices.
It's probably almost certainly a bad sign, or you've literally lost every device you ever had and your passphrase, at which point it's almost as likely that somebody is impersonating you than it is that you've lost everything, maybe.
Although then you get loads of users who come back to the thing and they don't know what to press, and they hit the reset button, and then it will...
True.
Anyway, yeah, so it's important just to make the distinction again between when you verified a person, which means that you're really interested in their identity, that's when you get this intrusive warning telling you something insecure might be happening. versus verifying your devices, which is just something which will just happen every time you use Element, and it'll be easy, and you'll barely notice it happening.
Looks great. Like the visuals and the UX is a massive step forwards. So congrats, and yeah, can't wait to have the grey shields disappear more. And thank you, Andy, for taking us by the hand and leading us through the streets of crypto.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to encourage you that we're making progress. It's really hard going sometimes, but we are making steps forward.
Hell yeah.